Hey y'all, it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl. And over here, I like to focus on all things vinyl, sublimation, and screen printing. I don't focus on perfection because without mistakes, how else are you supposed to learn anything? I have over 15 years of professional experience, if you want to call it that. So you might see things done a little bit differently over here than what you're used to seeing them. I also am dealing with a lot of health issues, and I wanted to say thank you to all those who are supporting me through all of this and who have been so kind considering all of my inconsistent posting schedules and, my terrible tutorials where, I've edited out the wrong things, saying the wrong things, stumbled over my words. Y'all have been absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping that in the next few doctor's appointments, maybe we'll actually figure out something and I can kind of go back to normal. Wouldn't that be absolutely phenomenal, fantastic? Yeah, something along those lines. Fingers crossed, thinking, thank God, anything, I'm just like, just give me something. That would be wonderful. Also, I'm extremely honest about affiliate links and when products are sent to me. So if that sounds good to you, you might want to stick around and join the Cuttin Corners family. If not, you might want to buzz on because my honeybees have a real sting to them. So, if you can't tell from today's title, we are going to be talking about mixing and matching different types of HTVs, whether that be texture, colors, all that fun kind of stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stick around. I feel like with everything that's going on, that playing around with vinyl a little bit more might be something that you or I am definitely going to want to do because, direct to fabric, white toner transfers are fun, but if you're selling stuff and you're not wanting to keep a lot of inventory, this might be the way to go. And I think that having things that are a little bit more unique is going to be something that is going to make you stand out. Or at least that's how I feel about things. Standing out from the crowd is going to be what kind of helps your business. Because everybody's going to kind of have the same thing and kind of already does. And you might have something that has a similar phrase or that type of thing, but having something that's got a unique color, a unique texture, might be what gets you the sale. And on top of that, I've seen people who have on their website, I ordered from someone who is a subscriber of mine who had on their website that it was a screen printed shirt. I ordered it. It was not a screen printed shirt. It was a white toner shirt. And I'm not going to call them out or anything like that. But there is a difference in the processes and how they wear and how they feel. And people need to be careful about how they market things. And again, knowing what you're selling and those types of things is going to be important. I, as a person, if I were still selling things as my business like that, I wouldn't want to have a bunch of inventory. One, you got to store all that, and trends and things like that change. Two, I only want to keep enough things on hand, and I don't want to invest in a lot of things if trends change. I would rather keep a small amount of things or something that I can change quickly with the trends. Hopefully that makes sense. So to me, something like vinyl or something like that I can change with the trends definitely makes more sense. And as far as sublimation goes, I love sublimation, but if your business is slower already, then keep investing in doing like printing stuff like that you have to constantly be running a printer doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because you have to keep it running to make money. Vinyl can just sit there. It's not going to go bad. So, thoughts. That's just me. So I was thinking about making more of a weekly series, as long as if my health kind of holds up, and going over different vinyls and how they work. Because Specialty, which is a brand that I love, this is not affiliated, this is not, and kind of going over like their different types and colors and things like that. And if you contact them, I have their stuff linked in the description. I'm sure you can get them to send you the book, because look, they have all different types, colors, all that kind of stuff. Going over that, because as I said, it's awesome. But this is part of the July Patreon kit, because I like mixing and matching textures and colors. So we're going to use the vinyls from that for this. But the shirt for the month, and you can skip ahead for this, but you will still learn something, I promise, is a Tooltex Cantaloupe Shirt, which looks like this. This already has one of the designs put on it, or the design we're using for today. Doesn't that look cool? And the vinyl, or some of the vinyls. So, Tooltex Cantaloupe Shirt. And you can still order this kit if you want to. My Patreon is linked in the description box. But don't ever feel obligated to use anything that I'm talking about like that. You don't have to. So you have two choices for the Patreon kit. You can get the shirt and the vinyl kit, or the vinyl only. There's two. So the shirt only kit, you can get the shirt and the vinyl with 5 colors. So those colors are the Leopard Silver Deco Film Soft Metallic, the Hollow Black Pearl Flex. I got to grab the right one. I've got so many vinyls sitting in front of me, it's not even funny. Did I forget to grab that one? Oh, no, it's right here. See, brain, don't fail me now. This is the Hollow Black Pearl Flex. See what I'm saying? Like, you can mix all different kinds of textures. The Purple Paint Effects. The Yellow Chameleon Glitter. The Pearl White Paint Effects. Now that doesn't look really special there, but it actually is really, really pretty on. So those are the 5 that you get with the shirt. Or you can get the vinyl only kit. So you'd get those 5 plus 5 more, which would include the Lime Yellow Paint Effects, the Silver Roses Deco Film right there. You see how it's got like a silver, I'm not sure if you can see it there. It's kind of hard because these are so metallic. Deco Film Soft Metallic. The White Pearl Flex, which is like almost like a silver glitter, but it's like not shiny, or it's not textured. None of these really have a texture to them, but they have like a sparkle to them. The Pink Pearl Flex and the Blue Pearl Flex. Okay, so if you want to see how we put these together, stay tuned. So we're going to start off by downloading the file from my Patreon page, which is www.patreon.com/BetsyGocher. And you can also find the link in my description box. Now, you don't have to use this file. You can use whatever file you want to. Now, as you can see, I have the files for this month separated into 2 different sections with all of my health issues. That's why it's done like that. Typically, I try not to do it that way. It's just how it is for this month. Now, I'm going to go ahead and download It's Always the Perfect Day to Craft SVG. I'm going to click that link, and as you can see, it starts to download. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize out of that. We're going to start off with Cricut Design Space. Now I'm going to go over here to the Upload little button, and I'm going to click on it, and we're going to go to Upload. I'm going to go to Browse. Now that's going to bring up my July 2022 Patreon folder. Now, typically this will go to your downloads folder, but I do have it saved in this folder because this is how I divide it to make it easier on me when I go to upload. But just so you know, and I'll go ahead and show you all of the files. Now, this is where the idea for the color scheme came up for this month, which I know the color of the shirt for the month is called Cantaloupe, but it is more of a peachy color. I had peaches on the mind, even though I don't really eat fruit. But the first design is Aren't You a Peach? Aren't you a peach? You know, Southern saying. It's always the perfect day to craft. Love, love, love that design. Just peachy. Shh, I'm only talking to Jesus. The only BS I need is bees and sunshine. If you know, you know, I love bees. So we're going to choose It's Always the Perfect Day to Craft, and we're going to click Open. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Upload. We're going to select the file and click Add to Canvas. Now, I always save a background on my images, and the reason being is when we had the business, anytime we had a white image, if we didn't save a background behind it, we'd get phone calls and emails that people couldn't see the image, and they wouldn't think that there would be anything there. So it's just become a habit to have a background behind it. Now, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to duplicate this. Now, people have it in their head that you have to take and do your design, if you're buying an image, that it has to be how you got it. And that's not the case at all. You can do this based on the colors that you want to do, and it's all about mixing textures and styles. Now, I'm going to keep it based on the colors that I have in the kit, but I'm going to show you kind of how you can mess around and play with your colors and textures so you can see that it doesn't have to be just plain old single, just black and white. Now, you can do it based off if you've have a sample card book, or you can just pull out your vinyls and look at things together. Now, what you see on the screen might look flat, but I am basing this not only off of the colors, but off of different textures. Like, this isn't just plain old black, white, and gray. Okay, we're gonna say I'm going to do one of the shirts on the Cantaloupe. This one we're gonna do on a tie-dye shirt. So we can go ahead and ungroup this one. Ungroup all. Okay? We can delete this background. So this color scheme is going to pretty much stay the same. Okay? But we're going to go ahead and ungroup it. But let's talk about this color scheme a little bit. The pink that's on here is going to be the Pearl Flex, and this is going to be the Pearl Flex pink that I showed you earlier. This gray right here, which we'll go ahead and weld this together because that's big enough for the most part to stay together. Those three pieces at least. Actually all of it. Ain't gonna really hurt. Because the word always, that little section right there, it ain't gonna hurt anything to waste that little bit of material. Is a beautiful amount of texture and color to it. So that's that pink that we're using. And the word craft and always, we're going to use the Deco Film Soft Metallic Silver Leopard. And the word perfect right here is going to be the Deco Film Soft Metallic Silver Roses. So you kind of see what I'm saying. And the white that we're using is going to be the or the Paint Effects Pearl White, which we're going to go ahead and weld that together as well, because as you can see, that's pretty much a straight line up and down of white. So there's no point in not keeping that together. And then as far as our black goes, might as well weld that together, and it's not going to stay black. We're going to do the Paint Effects in the purple, because I think that'll look really cool on that purple tie-dye. So you see what I'm saying? We're mixing colors and textures, and it's going to give this really kind of unique look. Now, for our actual Cantaloupe shirt, let's go ahead and ungroup it, and let's talk about this. Now, instead of using the pink, let's go ahead and weld that together. Now we have, for this shirt, I have that beautiful lime yellow lime green that is that Paint Effects again. I think that that would be absolutely beautiful. So let's try that in that position. Okay, now for the craft and always, oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, gotta ungroup it again. Okay, so for the craft and always, we have the yellow chameleon glitter. So let's choose that, which is more of like that orangey kind of shade. You see what I'm saying? How that kind of brings the life to it. Now for our black over here, I definitely think that we're going to keep it with the holographic black. So let's go ahead and weld that, because I think that that'll give it some unique texture, because this is going to be a really sparkly shirt for this, because you know, why not? And for our white on this side, we're going to keep with the Pearl Flex white, which is almost more of like a silvery shade. And again, I don't want it to be the same shade of white that's over here. That's why I'm choosing it to be different, because it's not the same color white. Now, our word perfect on this side, because it's not the same word. Let's see, we've got that beautiful Pearl Flex blue, which it's not that cornflowery blue. It's actually more of like a cerulean blue, which it's kind of hard to match over here because Cricut, you don't really have as much control over your shades, but we'll just stick it with this kind of color. But it's more of that kind of color. But I think that that kind of gives us an idea of what we're going for. But I think that's a pretty good example. But I think that will work. Now, this is the exact same design, two different ways. Two different unique sets. and they're going to look beautiful with different kinds of textures. Now, when we go to cut this, which I don't have the Cricut on yet, the only thing that we really have to worry about changing the thickness of vinyl on is for the one right here, which is our Chameleon glitter, because that is a very, very thick vinyl. But everything else, you just cut it on your regular HTV setting. But yeah, and you just want to make sure you mirror it all. But we're ready to go. Hold on, let's make sure we got everything set. That's not the right shade of gray. Let's change that shade of gray to a different shade of gray. There we go. Now we're ready. Now we do want to make sure we set everything and mirror it all. And now we're ready to go. That's simple. Okay, now let's go ahead and move over here to silhouette. And we're just going to do the same thing, which we actually, for the silhouette, you really don't have to change your colors. You just choose the correct vinyls. The thing is, unless you're a visual person and you actually need to change your design to know what colors you're going to use, you don't actually have to change your design. I was only doing that for a visual representation. The main thing is you just got to import your design or open your design and send the colors you want to cut for each piece. That's the main thing you got to do. Other than that, it's pretty simple. That's the big thing about it. But if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, I will show you how to put these shirts together. So we're going to start off with our Cantaloupe shirt. I've got the shirt turned inside out because one of the things I always do when I'm doing multiple color shirts is I take a piece of leftover heat transfer sticky and I take and I place it on the inside of the shirt, just like so. And that helps keep everything in place. So when we're doing multiple color designs, it makes everything line up a whole lot easier. So I have my t-shirt guide lined up with the top of the heat platen with the shoulder seams and the neck pulled off. Now we're going to start off with the top piece, which the word "its" is the tallest part of the design, and that is the top part of the vinyl, so that is a straight line. There we go. Okay. And we're going to take and line that up. Now I'm making this for my mother-in-law. She has larger chest as well. So I am going to pull this up a little bit further. And again, you can make this however tall that you want. Now, I know it looks like the design is pulled over that way, but one of the things I wanted to show you is if you look at actually how it is actually straight. It's just an optical illusion. I wanted y'all to see that before I stuck it, because it's probably like when y'all are looking at that, it's like, oh, that doesn't look straight at all. It is. And I have my Teflon sheet built in. Okay. Now it's trying to decide on which color to do next. Is line this up like this and then put the black on. And see, it doesn't have to be exact, I just want it pretty close. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let it cool really well. Got to make sure it's nice and cool. There we go. Now, we're going to move on to our next color. But you see what I'm saying, how much easier this is to line up with the sticky underneath? There we go. Now we got to cool it again. And again, this process, the way I like to do this now, it really does help because it's not super thick on the shirt either. It makes such a big difference. Such a big difference. And if you go to have any lifting or anything like that, just give it a second, let it cool. Just wait a sec. Go at it from a different angle because you're going to reheat it again, so don't panic. That's what I always tell people, don't panic. But you see how your shirt's not lifting, it's not stretching. You don't have to worry. So we're gonna go ahead and do the word perfect. We're gonna do that one by itself. And then we're gonna put on the word craft and always. And then this shirt, well, we're gonna pull out the sticky and then we're gonna do the other shirt. We're gonna reheat this one and then do the other shirt. But I think it looks really, really pretty. But you see what I'm saying? Like, when you're probably thinking, well, what are you thinking, Betsy? That's not gonna look good. It's not the same old, same old. And what I mean is you're mixing some really unique textures. And it's not like outright textured glitter. Now this is gonna add some pizzazz to it though. Pizzazz. I love that word, pizzazz. I don't think I've ever used that word on a shirt. Maybe I should use that word on a shirt. It's a fun word. There we go. But you see what I'm saying? Look how cool that looks. I think it looks really cool. And you can save those sticky pieces for the inside of shirts. That's what I do. Now look at that. Look at all that texture and shine. Now, I know that this isn't the kind of look for everybody, Okie dokie. So, got the t-shirt guide lined up at the top like we did on the other shirt, just like we did before. We've got our vinyl. We're going to start with our Deco Film Pearl in the pink, folding it in half. And I'm making this for me, so I always bring my designs up quite a bit higher because of my chest. That's just how I like to wear them, because I don't like them to be too low. Again, it's always going to look further over here to start with than over here. See what I mean? Okie dokie. Well, that's coolin'. We'll go ahead and line up our purple and pearl white layer, because we're going to do it just like we did on the last one. Okie dokie, so we can remove the pearl white. Perfect. But again, playing with your color schemes and all that just kind of makes things fun. You know, and you never know what you're gonna like together. Metallics and glitters and all that fun kind of stuff really make things pop. And once we add in the Deco Film Soft Metallics, those extra textures, I think you're really gonna love it. I know I'm gonna really love it. Which I guess is the most important part, because, you know, it's my shirt. And I think that's going to really be what matters the most. Okie dokie. Think that looks pretty good. Let's go from there. And it's gonna give it something extra. Something really different and unique. Okie dokie. I don't know, I was calling the purple Pearl Flex because it really doesn't need it. Because Paint Effects doesn't need the cooling like the Paint Effects. Or the Pearl Flex. When you're working with all these different kinds, it's so many to remember. So now we're going to apply the roses. Okay, we're gonna let that cool, and we'll go ahead and line up the word craft while that's kind of cooling some. Well, we're gonna have to go ahead and pull it. The plastic will overlap if we don't. Try not to mess it up. Deco Film Soft Metallic is extremely thin. It's one of my favorite materials, and you can mess it up easily, but it is so cool. So cool. Now there's a leopard. Now let's do the other piece of leopard. Now tell me that doesn't look really cool. And again, part of the thing is the more you do like the layers, it just gets heated on better and better. So that's part of it. And once this is on there, it really, you don't have to worry about it getting messed up. So tell me this isn't cool looking. Isn't that awesome? Isn't this awesome? I'm gonna heat it one more time. But I love how this came out. This is the Cantaloupe Shirt, all done. You can see what I was talking about, how pretty those look together. Isn't that really pretty? And whenever you're not under the crazy bright lights, it's like, see how pretty that chameleon looks? Like that catches the light really, really well. But like the holographic and stuff isn't as dramatic as you think it would be. It's just under the crazy bright lights does it look like it's super holographic. But it just has a really nice sparkle to it. And then the other shirt, see what I'm saying? Look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look neat? It's kind of wrinkled because it was sitting in my lap, but yeah, I mean, and I mean, like that's, you can see that's not like stiff on there. It's not like you've got a thick layer of vinyl. You can see that it's not crispy on there. And that's what I like. I mean, like that's not, I mean, that's not a thick layer of vinyl. And you can see that's not like a huge thick layer of vinyl. Because a lot of times I think people think when you're talking about vinyl, you're going to have like this huge thick layer, and this isn't. Now, on this shirt, the only thing that's thick on here is, you're talking about, is this chameleon. This is a thicker vinyl. But everything else is on the thinner side. Like, I mean, this isn't, that's the only thing that's thick. So, I mean, it's not anything that you have to really worry about either. But I mean, isn't that pretty? See what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what I'm, you see what I mean? Isn't that really pretty? And it's so unique. And same thing goes for this. And it's not, as I said, it's not stiff on the shirt. And I think that kind of messes with the misconception of things. So again, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And I guess that's it, and we'll see y'all in the next one.